Hey guys, Thomas Leroy here. Yeah, I put out a video a little bit ago, and well, I made the mistake of adding 1 or 2 seconds too much of Chris Tomlin to the front of it, singing "Holy, Holy Forever," which is, of course, our goal is to be holy, of course. And every time we do get to this stage where, again, I am the day made without the others, without the forces of darkness, shadow, or night. That's when we start getting that reference to holiness. To be holy is to be what I'm supposed to be, I guess, which is the day without without the others. And I'm very grateful, very happy and thankful to the good God above that I do have this light integrated into me, and that I am being made the day without the others, as I'm supposed to be. And whenever that happens, there's always that. I remember a reference once they were trying to tell me, see, that's what it's like to be with Jesus. I'm like, well, okay, I chose Jesus 20 years ago. um, or actually, I could say way back whenever I was a child, actually, whenever I was a teenager. Uh, but we didn't really know anything, and we didn't have any help in that. So, but again, yeah, so I'm happy that to be made separate from all that is not the day. I'm very happy about that. I've been listening to one of my faves, CJ, and he has been talking about, different stuff. Many times the theme of fame comes up, and, I've had an awful lot of that pushed at me over the last 20 years. Um, And while, of course, I was never one to aspire to fame or anything like that, or power for that matter, even, uh, I've come to accept it. Everything I've seen over an entire lifetime is that they're speaking to an individual, baby, 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 uh, ooh, baby, oh, baby, a baby, who seems to go through all of that, a, ooh, oh, and who may believe that they're who when they're in the world. Possibly that's what I heard too. But um, basically the message I received from a long, long time ago that you put with the stuff that you received over the last many decades was that I was to come forward and be known, become famous. For whatever it is, I'll say or do something which will, make everyone go, "Wow, that's just the thing," or it'll be a truth probably that they all seem to agree on, that they can't deny or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know that we will rock it up to a certain stage at some point and be very well known to speak against the madness, as they've said, to speak against the insanity. And others have been reflecting to me, that I'm a healer. And I was listening to another one of my faves recently, just a while ago, and she was saying how you had to learn to use this on yourself, and it triggers. I can't tell you how many times I've heard "physician, heal thyself," you know, and I. But of course it's difficult for the physician to heal themselves when they don't know that there's anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? And when you're using psychology instead of the real thing, which is the spiritual side of it, um, you're automatically set up to fail because you're not going to have the power. You can postulate, you can hypothesize, you can discuss, you can blah, 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 but none of that's actually going to do very much. You can change the way a person thinks. You can, through the use of psychology, you can effect positive change. I should say beneficial changes. But it's not what's needed. It's not the cure. It's not, which is the Prince of Peace. He who is the life, the way, and the truth. the light. Um, so again, uh, once you realize, that you're a part of that, see, that's you can never go the other direction ever again. That's just what it is. So that if you find out something's wrong or a sin or whatever, then that just is something that goes falls away. Because, like I've said before, I'll do no thing that will take me from the God of heaven, from the light. I'll do no thing or be involved with no one that will cause the light to leave me. That's just the resolution. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's got to be, and it's the way it's going to be. Because we're never going to give up the light or heaven or the God people or the God who made the light. Never. Why would I? I choose me, as they say. And every time I've chosen God and the light and to be without the darkness and not participate with them and not be connected to them, that's what they say. You're choosing you. They've always told me, you're choosing yourself. Well, I've been trying to choose myself for a long time. And I'm glad that we finally have got that choice made. I was hearing stuff about things that I do, on a regular basis or something. I do start out the morning each day with a thank you and prayers. Like I say, I'm extremely grateful to be the day without anything else. It is, it's what I am and what I'm supposed to be. I really, truly do believe. Have I had liaisons with others? Yeah, but they were, I'm sure, all day or coming on as day, coming into being day. They were on that path working it. I wasn't, supposed to be connected to that which is confirmed to be of the opposite, because that kind of would negate my effect, wouldn't it? Plus, also, they were talking about how, these people wanted to swap destinies and steal your gifts and this and that, which all is inherently evil. It's what it is, totally, completely evil. So again, these people, that they were talking about, hey, they're going to turn over a new leaf and start praying to your God. Well, you can pray to anybody you want. I don't care. I don't care about you. We don't love you. We're not here to be sacrificed for you. We're not going to be sacrificed for anything or anyone. We don't want to pay for that. We don't want to suffer like that anymore. We already did that, apparently to no avail. I guess, I'm not saying it's true, but I guess that an awful lot of my loving has been done in vain. I know that we have benefited a great many and had dreams come true and stars made and all that. And so it hasn't all been in vain, but boy, this last go around seems to have been. So I'm glad to be moving on from that. We're going to continue up. And I'm very thankful about this very nice love feeling thing that's with me right now. I'm very grateful for the changes, the improvements that have been occurring. This particular presence, energy, I've enjoyed several times, and it seems to be more often present, whenever there's a lack of the other. And it for me, I'll tell you, it will gather here or there, and I know it's protecting and keeping out and off of me the other stuff, and I just love it. It feels so sweet. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's just right. It's like Goldilocks. Just cool enough to be reassuring, and it feels soft, nice, comfy, loving is how it feels. Let's see, what else did I cover on that last video? Well, see, the last video, I took it down because they put a little exclamation point on it, and then I went in and it said something about copyright, and so it's been partially blocked. And I thought, well, let's just be a good boy and take it down because we don't want copyright strikes against us, So I just went ahead and got rid of that. But, well, if there's anything else I can think of, I might be able to address later. I'll make another video. But basically, the last one, the basic plans. We're probably going to keep this channel, but we'll start some new ones, and we'll just continue to improve and become what we were supposed to be. Yes, I'd rather be famous rather than notorious. Notoriety generally connotes, or maybe I should say it denotes, um, some really questionable behavior. Questionable would be the a really sweet term for it, because normally people are notorious for the bad things they do. Like Dracula's notorious for, you know, drinking people's blood and leaving them dead. Uh, Hitler is notorious for doing a lot of really bad stuff. I'd rather be famous. Yeah. And that's, I'm quite sure, is what I was supposed to do, which was to sort of shed a light on things, since I am a light, and put it in a way that a lot of these people who are completely lost could understand it, and, you know, and point out some, man, I'm telling you, this whole Christianity thing, I don't know this, you know, we've talked about going from one world to another, and that this isn't the real world, and the one before I don't think was also very real either. But, you know, I'm looking at this world thing, and I'm really kind of thinking it's always been what I always believed it was. And it's not a good place. And it is as close to heaven as some people are ever going to get. And the thing of it is I've always done what I've always done, which is to uplift people, to give them tools and or new ways of thinking so that they could carry on and feel better about themselves and try to be a good person and be good to others and raise that vibration. Basically, put a smile on your face, be happy. But now, see, I've got a lot more tools. I'm not stuck in psychology, and I know what the real deal is, and I know how to pray, and I know the prayers that I can give to others, and people have talked about this kind of stuff. Like I said, am I interested in benefiting evil? No, not whatsoever. None at all. I don't want to help them to be more evil. I don't want to further evil in any way, shape, or form. Just the opposite. And I do know that the enemy that I was talking to, who I think probably CJ was referring to today, has had their eye on me as being the enemy since I was very small. Seeing that there was something different about me, there was a big energy with us. And then they talked about, you know, how they went to a local practitioner to do readings on me and stuff. And I'm real sure I know those people. There were some black folks, and real friendly. Met them at least once, and was taken to their home too. But, you know, I was explaining to one version of that guy several years back about the chain of love, and that's what it is, how Christ works. It's you know, how we work and we do the labor, even though we may not get the actual payoff or ever see it in our lifetime, but it's about lifting people up out of it, you know, through those chain links of love. And they really hated it. They really hated the idea of someone being above it all, shining down on it, and the love coming down and touching people, and them waking up to the fact that, hey, you know, I could climb and get out of here. I could change. I could, with the help of the Holy Spirit, the good love of heaven, we can change, and they can. They don't have to be stuck going round and round and round forever. I know that. But in any case, yeah, we're just working on some things, guys. We're getting stuff cleaned up, trying to tie up some loose strings, get things neatened out, take care of, you know, business that has to be done, but we're going to be getting to work on it. I think one of the things I said in the last video was I'm going to try to just go ahead and adopt that Tom Cruise mentality. They were asking Tom one day in one of his interviews, how do you get all this done? Do you ever sleep? And he always has these great responses for all these things that they say to him and stuff. And he says, well, you know, it's just I wake up and I say, well, might as well get to work. I'm awake. And it's a great attitude. I have spent an awful lot of time trying to get used to the fact that I don't sleep very much. And But I used to spend a lot of time in the bed in the morning anyway, because it was quiet and peaceful and yay, don't get haven't had enough of that. Um, but I've changed some things. I've opened up the windows so that the light will come streaming in the morning. And while I laid there, probably another hour or two longer than I needed to this morning, I can see that that's going to be the attitude I have. Might as well go ahead and get up, get to work, because I mean, what else? Why not? And I'm real sure that this is going to be exactly like what I've been told, and there is going to be endless opportunities for advancement and financial advancement and to moving up, and that there'll be door after door that's open, and blessing after blessing, and it'll be just exactly like what I've been told, that it'll be like almost too good. And I'll have to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming, although I can't really tell you how to tell which is which is living and which is dreaming. All I know is that, yes, I will be making it through the night, as they say, quote unquote. I will be making it out of the darkness, because that's what I'm supposed to do, and I am the one that can't be beat. Me and mine, that team can't be beat. Yeah, they've had their wins and so on, but we win the war, and we're winning now, and we're going to continue to win, because we've entered that stage where that's all there is, winning and victory for me. One good thing after another happens, again and again and again, blessing after blessing after blessing. And I know we'll be coming into contact with and being surrounded more and more by day. And I saw that message the other day. More morning people are on the way. Wonderful. I love it, because I love the day. If you're the day, I love you. That's just there you go. Unless you're something that's like saying you're the day, but you never really got it, and you don't pray the prayers that you're supposed to pray, and you're not taking in the Prince of Peace, and you're not renouncing Satan, and so on and so forth. In other words, you're still the enemy. Which leads me back to that thing about the people, praying to my God. Pray to my God if you want. Pray to whatever God you want to. I'll tell you what, when you become the day, then we can hang out. Then we can be connected. But until then, no. I'm just going to be the day without any of the others, without the forces of darkness, shadow, or night. Because, again, I have no business with them. I can't find any common ground, apparently. There's never been a conversation in the last 20 years, I guess. It's just all been this bad stuff. I don't know why I would be going to anyone who'd done any of these things to me. Truthfully, I just don't understand anything about what they think. But yeah, wow, this turned out a lot longer than the last one. Whew, 18 minutes. Well, whoever sits through this must be really interested. And again, these of you who have been unable to filter out, I just love you, because that means you're safe. That means you're the good guy. That means you're me. You're mine. You're my stuff. I'm yours, and we're the day. It'll be really wonderful. Good, great. Yeah, we'll just keep on going. It's going to get better and better and better. Thank you so much.